Hello and welcome to Evolve Pipedrive podcast, where we talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and the Pipedrive marketplace. My name is Bruce Bignell. I'm the sales director here at Evolve, and it's my pleasure to be joined by Pavlina Frydenlund. Please correct me if I mispronounced that. The head of customer services and success at Plecto. Today, Pavlina is going to be walking us through the integration between Plecto and Pipedrive. So, without further ado, I'll let Pavlina take us through that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and great to be here. So today we're going to look through how to integrate Pipedrive and Plecto together. We're going to go through all of the steps, and I'm also going to showcase some of the main features that we contribute and that we contribute to Pipedrive. So I will start with, as you can see here, I'm already in my Pipedrive account. I have created a test account with some deals, and I'm going to go here into the marketplace, where we're going to start by connecting Plecto. So now I'm going to type in Plecto right here. And here you can see that I've already installed my app. So this is where you just install the app and follow the guide, but you can also manage it right here. And then you can see all of the information that you have in.
It's a great point. A lot of people forget that marketplace app's there, that the marketplace
Yeah,
tag is there in Pipedrive, right? So you can
exactly.
search for it directly in the app, which is great.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and you can also see what kind of permissions the following apps have. And as you can see here, we have only read-on access, so Plecto only gets access to the data. All of the changes and everything that is being updated is happening directly in Pipedrive. So
Yeah,
that means that as soon as something is updated, we receive the information almost instantly in Plecto, and then of course we can use the data to build dashboards, reports, and other types of exciting features. So when you have connected your Pipedrive account, what you need to do is, of course, you need to go to your Plecto account. So I'm just going to jump up here. So this is how Plecto looks like. And the first step is to go to data management, data sources, and add a new data source right here. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it from scratch. It's pretty easy. So you need to basically add your credentials, where you need to connect. And then, of course, you need to give consent that
yeah.
you want to connect with this account. Continue to the app, and then you should be able to see it right here. Let me see. Here it is. And then you can basically from here decide which types of data you want to check and to install in Plecto. As Pipedrive users know, you have deals, activity leads, people, organizations as data types. What you basically do is that you just need to give your data source a title. You have a generic title that is being assigned. So let's say Pipedrive deals 2, because I already have created a Pipedrive data source. And from here, this is really important part, because everything in Pipedrive is also based on dates. So when a deal is being closed, or when an employee types in an activity or logs a call or creates a task or whatever, they have, of course, a date associated to that. So it's really important that you choose the correct date that you're going to use for the most of your KPIs that you're going to build in Plecto. And of course, in Pipedrive, there is these options to choose, well, do we want to visualize the owner of a deal or actually the person who created that? And that's because in some situations, it could be, let's say that a manager creates a deal, or maybe one employee and then another employee takes over who
Yeah,
actually owns the deal and works on it. So that's kind of the logic here. And you
yeah.
can do the same thing with all of the other data types right here. Basically, again, this default date means that you would use, let's say, the add time of an activity for the most of the KPIs that you're going to build. But
And
this is
that's
also
across
adjustable.
the main uh, kind of moving parts in Pipedrive. So you've got deals, activities, leads, people, and
Exactly.
organizations. The
Exactly.
key,
Exactly.
the key.
Exactly. And we support also custom fields for most of these. So all of the custom fields that one creates in Pipedrive can be also imported directly into Plecto. But let's start with these two here, so you can add also the other ones. We also recently released an integration to the new type leads, which is really exciting. So
Yeah.
also check it out here.
The leads inbox in Pipedrive's growing functionality week by week. Yeah,
Exactly.
Cool.
It's an amazing feature. I also tried it out on my own when I was also creating these deals. So it's really fast and easy. So you get basically the overview of your leads, deals, and all of the activities together at one place. Perfect. So now the technical part comes here, where we need to, the next step on our side is that you can basically build out a dashboard from here with some predefined KPIs. So this is definitely an option. You can choose up to 9 pre-built KPIs. You can see how they are actually going to be visualized, the number of won deals. This is something that is very easy to get started if one does not want to build KPIs from scratch. So there is a lot of options here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to skip this for now because I really want to showcase on how you actually build these things on your own. So let's try to skip this. So here you're going to see that I have a new data source called Pipedrive Deals. Let me try to open it. And then we're going to see a lot of information here. These are already deals that I have in Pipedrive, so everything runs automatically. Let's go to settings here. Here you can see the same settings that we saw earlier. And then down here, this is actually where we can see all of the fields that we have from Pipedrive. And if I may jump into Pipedrive again, just to showcase. So all of these fields that you just saw are basically when we open a deal, this is basically the contact person. Let me try to see it here. So let's open a deal. Good. So these are all of the fields that you can see. So any kind of activities, emails, who is the person responsible for the deal? What is the value of the deal? What is the stage of the deal? How many days it has been opened, and everything like that are basically the fields that you see directly in Plectrum. So let's jump back. So here you can see organization, statuses, stages, all of these. So all of the custom fields that one has in Pipedrive can be also added. We just click on the fields that we want to add and we click on save, and the fields are going to be updated. Any new fields, I just need to just click here on update fields and everything will be automatically updated. When one connects Pipedrive to Plecto for the first time, we import the first month of data. But if you want to get more historical data, and this is used in the case where we want to compare, we want to analyze data also in the past, see trends, and also be able to take decisions based on that, we can always fetch a lot of historical data. So let's see here, very fast and easy. I can go back to basically when I started using Pipedrive. And
Yeah.
this is what we also recommend. So we just start the import and this is running in the background. The way that our integration works with Pipedrive is that it is real time with webhooks. So everything that is being updated in Pipedrive comes into Plecto almost instantly, and then you will be able to see it on dashboards, reports, you'll be able to get notifications and all of the things that you have built in the account. So that's basically the part of the technical part. You can see here that the data looks a bit different than it does in Pipedrive, but it's basically the same. We have the statuses and so on. So what we do from here is that in Plecto, we basically start building something called formulas or KPIs in order to visualize the information that we have. So we normally go here into KPI management and formulas, and we're going to build a KPI. We can do that directly from a dashboard or just here. I'm just going to give this a title. Let's say Pipedrive deals, and then number of, let's say number of closed deals. Good. So what we do is that we just click on a component here and we choose the data function. Basically, they just build all around the logic of Excel. So here we just need to say, well, if you want to count the number of deals or number of closed deals, or we want to visualize a value, we use similar functions as the one used in Excel. So number of or sum of. We have also a lot of other functions that can help in visualizing, well, what are the latest tasks that we have? What are the latest meetings that we have? What is the latest name of the deal that we have closed? All of these options are possible to visualize here.
And
So we
what's
choose
great
number.
about this is, I'm looking forward to see where this goes, right? Because
Yeah,
Pipedrive has its own insights dashboard, right? But
yeah,
it's quite the reason people lean on Plecto is because they need more from it, or they've got custom fields that they need some calculations made on them, not just the number. Yes, Pipedrive has its own um, insights dashboards that save people a lot of time. But what you're about to do now is you can put calculations into these reports, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm looking forward
Exactly.
to see what
Yeah,
you've
exactly.
got here.
Exactly. So you can manipulate and you can basically decide what you want to visualize in many different ways. And that's kind of also the beauty of Plecto, is that you can basically very fast and easy use these functions here to define, well, how many won deals do we have divided by the number of open deals, or vice versa, to say, well, what is the conversion rate that we have? What is our close rate? How well are we doing? And that's basically what Plecto does, is that we take all of the data from Pipedrive and also transcribe it in a way that the customer, for example, would like to focus on. So we follow a model of, well, what is the most important KPI? So basically, it could be we want to increase the number of closed deals. So this is what we focus on, and we build out dashboards and reporting all around that, and contest and all kinds of other features that would help us to achieve that goal. So just to demonstrate one KPI here, very simple one. It's called number of Pipedrive deals. The status is 1. So basically define what do we want to calculate. And then there is one thing that is really, really important also when we work with Pipedrive, is that everything has a date associated to it. So as soon as someone moves a deal into a different stage, you would be able basically to see how many deals you have in, let's say, demo scheduled. And then you can make these calculations where you can say, well, I want to see what is the conversion from all of the meetings or all of the calls that we have to actually a demo scheduled, because the result is what is important for specifically for sales team and for all other teams. So here we just need to say, well, when you work with Pipedrive, you always need to type in an expected or actual close date. That's something that is very generic for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So that's what also we define here, because the logic is that there might be a big difference. Hopefully not. Hopefully the time frame between creating a deal in Pipedrive and closing a deal is very short, but sometimes it can go a bit of time. So what we want to visualize on the dashboards and reports in Plecto is that we want to visualize the deals when they're actually won, not when we created them. So that's the logic here. And also another thing that we have is that we can combine. So we can combine the number of, let's say, won deals with the number of activities that we have, where we basically just choose again the functions, and then we choose Pipedrive activities, and then we can also filter out a lot of different things. So deal pipeline, which pipeline do we want to see, if it's a specific pipeline that we want to only visualize, and so on. So there's a lot of options in terms of customizability of building these KPIs. Uh, yeah, multiplying, dividing, and so on. There is a lot of
Yeah.
options. So you can see how fast and easy it is to build. We have the preview here. We format. We also have the option to visualize percentages. So it's really fast and easy to say, well, how far are we in reaching our target, and so on. So let's try to save this. Let me just type in, copy the title here. So when we have created a KPI, it is saved in Plecto, so it's reusable throughout the whole platform. So we don't need to build out these KPIs again and again and again. So that's kind of the logic here. So let's go to a dashboard and build a new one here. The nice thing is that you can have as many dashboards as you would like to have. Example dashboard, Pipedrive deals. And there's a lot of options also for the themes and so on. So you can really customize it and also create your own themes in Plecto.
Yeah.
So now we have that blank dashboard. We start here and we're going to add some widgets. So these are the options that we have. They are also similar to what Pipedrive has, but we also have some things that allow you to actually see, well, very detailed overview of what are all of your latest, let's say, deals, the names of the deals. So there is a lot of customizability with our widgets. So let's try to choose a speedometer and place it right here. And from here, I'm going to choose these formulas or KPIs that we just built. I copied the name of the one that I just built. Then, of course, I'm going to type in the time period. And that's also the flexibility that comes here, that you can create a lot of and choose a lot of different time periods and visualize the information that you actually need to see on the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So let's type in a title, number of won deals, and you can see that I have 11 deals. So if I want to have a target, and that's also what we add on to Pipedrive, is to basically add targets to, let's say, the whole company, the whole team, or also individually for each employee, so that we know where are we focusing on, where are we going, what do we have to achieve. So
Yeah.
just going to create a very simple KPI here. I'm going to call it target of sales, number of sales, perhaps. Target number of sales. Let's do like this. And then what I can do here is that I can, again, if I have already built this formula, then I can reuse everything. But for the sake of just to show some other options, I'm going to type in, let's say, 20 deals. This is my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to save it. Here you can see how far we are, and then we can also add some conditional colors that are going to define, well, how are we actually doing. And that's where also, sorry,
No,
you have a
that's
question?
good. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And also the other thing here is that we can adjust these targets. So I'll recommend especially when we talk about motivating targets. We need to motivate our teams in order to do better, in order to boost performance, in order to close more deals, right? Because this is basically what the goal is, especially for sales teams. So what we can do here is that we can basically adjust. Well, let's say that if we are around 30% of the goal, then this widget here would change color to orange. So it's a bit more motivating to look at, instead of having these red colors on the dashboard, right?
Yeah.
So this is also kind of like a coaching aspect of having dashboards, having this real-time data that you can adjust very fast and easy based on the team's performance.
So that's a really good point. Like the coaching aspect. So how could these boards differ from, like, would an individual salesperson have a different board to what the manager's looking at? Would you see that they would use this, the in a yes, the insights coming from Pipedrive, but an individual salesperson might have a different board to what the manager's wanting to look at.
Exactly. So we generally recommend that different dashboards can be used for different management levels. So let's say as a manager, you would like to see, well, a total overview of how many deals do we have. We want to see, well, what is our conversion rate? How much value do we have, or how many deals we have in our pipeline? Where are we going on a more high level, where an employee could basically they would need to have a bit more detail, maybe overview of what their activities are and what is their individual target. I can show you here some personal dashboards that could be very beneficial for, let's say, a sales rep, where we can see here that is something that I would definitely recommend to have. The picture, which is also something that spikes a lot of motivation. We have a target, which is really important to have, actually a goal that we are striving for. Well, how many percentages of our goal have we achieved? We can see that we are at 87%, and also how far are we from reaching, or how far is Anna from reaching her target, how many
Yeah.
activities she has to do, and all of that. And also an overview of her leads, where you can see that you can also add some nice emojis here to spice up the dashboard, of course, based on
Yeah.
the culture of the team itself. And the great thing that we see a lot of customers and a lot of employees to benefit from is to basically see, well, what are my next steps? So I have a follow-up call. When is the due date of that call? What is the stage of the deal that I'm working on? Where is everything going? And combine this data on a dashboard that visualizes the goal, and also all of the activities behind reaching this goal.
Yeah.
So there will be
And
a
that
really
kind of
nice.
that leans on, and that's pulling from the, the activity based selling approach of Pipedrive, right? What is my next action here? What do I have to do next? So if you can
Exactly.
combine that into one board, yeah, that's
Exactly.
great.
Exactly. And when you mentioned about a manager overview
Mm.
or a team lead overview, this is also a dashboard that I would definitely recommend, which is again, all of these KPIs that I just show you are reusable. So we can use it on a personal dashboard for a specific employee. We can also use it on an overall dashboard where, let's say, everyone would see this on their TV screens. They would be also at the office, they will be also able to see them on our app where they can go in and say, well, how are we doing? Where are we going? What do we need to focus on in order to reach these goals? So
Curtis is killing it.
yeah, I would definitely recommend this as also an option. And one of the things that we see a lot when we talk about Pipedrive is to focus on close rates. So how well are we doing? And the great thing about Plecto is that we can basically take this KPI right here. I'm just going to it's just an example because we have
Hmm.
this. You can see here that you have the number of Pipedrive deals that is won, and you divide them by the sum of the won deals and lost deals.
Yeah,
So that's basically how you calculate conversions, and all of these things are possible to build here in Plecto, where well we can have it on a one of these really nice number boxes, but we can also have it on a line chart where we can see well what is the development over time, how well are we doing based on that KPI by just choosing that and saying, well, during the current week, these are the spikes that we have. And
yeah,
from this, we can start to see the trends and to see, well, um, are we closing deals on a specific day of the week? Do we need to maybe get more salespeople on that specific day, on that specific time of the day, in order
yeah,
to increase our close rate, and also to see, well, what are the deals that are actually closing the most based on their value, of course, based on the dates when they're expected to be closed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I get just
So
from a team standpoint, I think that's super. You know, if you're working remotely, right, that could be just be able to see where you stand versus the rest of your team that you used to sit next to, right? And you used to be have those conversations. But if you can very quickly see, like, just that kind of competitive nature within salespeople, like there's nothing wrong with a bit of competition, right? So if you can see where you are versus someone else, like very quickly,
exactly,
that's
exactly,
pretty
and that
cool.
that that's everything that surrounds the logic and the reason why Plecto exists is that we need to we what we do is that we help not only managers but also teams, employees, individuals to actually take ownership of their data and to start spotting some trends in how are they doing. And what we see when we have Plecto on a TV screen at the office or also on a TV screen at home, that is also an option to have dashboards on a TV screen, is that the employees start to have these conversations on their own.
Mm.
Well, I can see that, for example, David is really good in closing these types of deals, or he has been doing amazing. Well, we start to see these conversations of, well, how are you doing this? How can I improve as well? So
Yeah,
that's kind of that's really, I would say, also the power of having Plecton, having a solution that allows to visualize data in a simple way, engages, of course, all of the teams.
yeah.
So,
You just made me think. I need to get Plecto on my screen back here. Maybe that'd be useful.
you should. And also the other thing is that as soon as let's say that we want to celebrate, right? This is one of the big parts of
Hmm.
being better, of boosting performance, of reaching for the high targets that we set or reaching above the targets, is to celebrate. When something happens, we need to celebrate that, no matter if we are at the office, no matter if you are at home. It's really important to have that clap on the shoulder, that well done, you did something that actually mattered and contributed to the company goal. And this is where we see the performance boosting and the performance basically going sky high. So what we do also in Plecto is that we have a few gamification features here that you can see: notifications, achievements, and contests. Basically, we can have a pop-up notification directly on the screen when someone, let's say, wants a deal. So I really want to demonstrate on how that works. So let me try
I
to
want
go
to see
here
what
into
contests.
Pipedrive.
What does contests do?
Contest is a great feature where you can build a very simple competition based on a KPI that you want to focus on.
Ooh.
So I'm going to demonstrate in a second where, again, based on all of the data from Pipedrive, you can basically in seconds set up a contest. Okay, well, today we have a sales target that we need to reach this amount of sales. Then we add that on the TV screen, and we can see who wins, and there is also
Yeah,
a prize. So that's also pretty.
so it could be sales or it could be activity, I guess. So okay, as a team, we want to hit 500 calls between us this week or whatever it might be. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, that's cool.
So that's the great thing, that you can base it on anything, and it doesn't matter again if it's sales, if it's activities. And I also really like to, when we talk with customers, I really like to take a step back and say, okay, well, we need to reach this goal. We need to reach this amount of sales or this revenue, but we need to also think about all of the underlying activities that are really important, and that actually contribute to basically a closed deal.
Mm.
So contest can be set up on anything, as we also just mentioned. So I have a deal here. I'm just going to win that deal right now. I have this really nice celebration here in Pipedrive, and we are going to see here. Let me try to go to Plecto here. We see all of the notifications on the preview, so we should be able to see something very soon here. Let's see if I have.
Sometimes Zoom slows things down.
It does. It does. Yeah, let's try to see here. You can see here on the screen one of the contests I set up.
Agent with the highest sales value wins a bottle of wine. Ooh.
Exactly. So it can be anything. When we talk about contests, it can be a bottle of wine, can be a trip,
Yeah.
a whole company trip or something like that. So this is also a really nice way um, to basically see these. Let me try to see here. I can just make a little test. You can
There
see
we
that
go.
I won a deal, and there will be a sound that is playing on the screen as well. So all of these nice activities are being logged down here, so you can see them on the TV screens, or you can also see them
So that was your deal that won, and that
yeah,
actually went across. Kind of, I guess you can choose the teams that show is shown to that animation and things like that. Because that obviously that
ex-
overlaid on Anna's dashboard, but you could have that overlay across the marketing department or any team that you choose, right?
Exactly, exactly. And what we do is that we have this great feature here, which is called slideshow. So we have basically no limit to how many dashboards we can have on the account. And here we can see, well, we can decide on these slideshows who sees what. So different, let's say if we have offices in different countries, we can set up different slideshows that are basically visualized in the specific country or specific team that would like to see them. And we can also send these types of notifications to specific teams. Basically, whatever we as managers of an account, we set as goals and we set as focuses. This is what we set up, and this is what we also show to the employees. So I want to go here to the contest and just show you how fast and easy it is. So we just type in a contest name, the highest or um, the best salesperson wins. Can add us. description. You can add a price name, so it could be a trip to Spain. Let's be
Hmm.
generous. We can add a price image right here, and we can decide. Well, when we have contests, we also need to have some end dates, right? So we need to have a specific time frame where the contest is running. So let's say this one is running from today until the end of April, and then this is where the nice thing comes again with keeping all of the KPIs that you build in the list here in Plecto, is that you can reuse them again. So let's say we have something about one deal, so we want to define or set this contest based on the number of one deals. We can have a target. We can also not have a target. It again, it depends on the culture that a team has. So if it's a very competitive sales team or a team that really wants to be measured on targets and are really being motivated based on how far they reach based on their targets, you can set up a target right here. Otherwise, yeah, it's an option.
Mm.
So here the really nice thing is that we have very different types of layouts. You can choose from a podium, also from a leaderboard, and we can also choose the different types of themes again. And in Plato, there's also an option to create your own theme, so you can decide how your dashboards should look like based on your brand.
Nice.
Good. And then the nice thing is that we have options here to make a contest where individual employees are basically competing with each other, or different teams are competing with each other. So it can be, let's say, where if we have different offices in different parts of the world, then we can have all of the offices to compete based on a specific KPI that we choose that the whole company should focus on. And of course, if we want to have some contests where we see the employees competing with each other, we can also do that. But it, again, yeah, it's very fast and easy to choose these. We just choose the contestants. We can also add individual targets for them if they have any individual targets, as if they work on different types of deals or different types of markets, could have, of course, individual targets. So
Yeah.
that's basically a really nice and fast and easy way to quickly set the tone for the day or for the week, and to get everyone to focus on where we need to be and
Yeah.
how we can reach that. Perfect.
Yeah. It's great.
Another thing then, yeah. Yeah. Another thing that we really also focus on when we talk about employees and motivation and being able to be better and to have all of these activities that actually result in a closed deal, is also to set up some achievements. There are these little as icons displayed on the employee's name, next to the employee's name on dashboards, and we have these different
Nice.
options right here. So it could be anything from employee of the month, or when you have completed, let's say, 50 activities, then you get a star next to your name. So it's kind of like that soft, yeah, clap on the shoulder where you can actually see the milestones that you go through as an
What's
employee.
pi?
Well, I that was one of the word that I consider that I think it was one of my personal favorites, because I really like cakes. So we have a lot of customers who actually, when they bake a cake or someone brings cake to office, then they
Nice.
have this like pie emojis. So it could be, let's say, if someone, let's say, if there is a competition of who drinks the most coffee, then they can also have a mug
Yeah.
next to your name. So it's kind of like getting this, depending on the culture, of course, of the company, getting that fun aspect of closing deals, of working hard, of also being able to see that, well, we also need uh, to celebrate the soft values, and being able to
Yeah.
gather some achievements on how well we're doing as colleagues as well as people, is also really
Yeah.
important. Also,
That's
maybe
great.
creating a challenge for, yeah, for let's say, who is the best in fixing bugs or something like that, or who is the best in closing the most deals, or who is the best in booking the most demos. Then we can create some achievements that are going to
Mm.
to reflect that, of course.
I like
Yeah.
it. I think that's a really nice overview from,
Yeah.
Pipedrive, how simple it is to connect to Plecto. We've touched upon, the data management, the KPI
Mhm.
management, the gamification. Um, it looks like there's loads more to go through. So, I mean, it might be a
Yeah.
case where people book in a demo, right, and have their own
Yes.
personal demo to go through this. But, I mean, was there
Yeah.
anything else that you wanted to mention um, before we
Yeah.
wrap this
Well,
up? So I think this has
yeah.
been a great intro here.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, the only thing that I wanted to mention is our app. So I have created a short recording of the app and how it works, because there are also widgets that you can add on your phone. I can just show you very quickly, just to
Nice.
show you what I wanted to also to look at. Let me try to find my phone here. Where you can see basically like everything. So I can see here on my phone, I have this widget, so I can see how am I doing really, really fast and easy. I can set this up, and this is data from Pipedrive.
So
Yeah.
is that an iPhone widget?
Exactly. And then we also have
Ah,
Android
nice.
widgets.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you can go ahead, and when you're on the phone, and that is especially great for employees who work from home, is that you can go onto your phone, you can basically see, well, how am I doing? You can set up your own widgets when you have access, of course, to the platform. You can set up your own widget. You can see your targets very fast and easy. So you don't have to open your computer. You don't have to
Yeah.
go through all of these different systems to check it out. Just basically have it on your phone. And you can also get all of the notifications. So you have also, of course, I have a lot of one dues here, as you can see. So I have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
notifications that I can set up
So
to be
is
sent
that via
on my phone.
the Plecto app?
Exactly, exactly. This is
Okay,
via the
we'll be
Plecto app.
sure to put that in. We'll put that in the
Yeah.
description below this as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's I think especially when we have that the climate right now in working from home, and a lot of companies are actually choosing to have remote employees, is really important to keep the motivation, and also to make them, or to have them to feel like they are a part of the company still.
Yeah,
When they are remote, they don't have their colleagues there every day to talk with. So Plecto also helps with that part in feeling like you are a part of the greater good, and you are a part of, and you contribute to reaching the goals that a company has.
yeah. I think that's a really nice way to end this kind of intro piece. But Pavlina, thank you so much. That was great.
Yes.
So we'll be sure to have links to to trial Plecto for yourself at the end of this, as well as links to download the. Is it iOS or Android as well?
Both iOS and Android.
Both, yeah. So
Yeah.
get your widgets on your phone. Um, I've been playing around with widgets recently, actually, to just kind of have like a
Nice.
business section of my phone. Otherwise, that it all just gets lost. So if you cannot have a screen that is for your business day, so that could be quite useful there.
Yeah,
But brilliant.
exactly, exactly.
And
Yeah.
thanks for listening to the Evolve Pipedrive podcast. Where we talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and people that integrate with the Pipedrive marketplace. So thank you once again.